Hey, this is Sarah Peterson here. Thanks for joining me on this episode of MLM Marketing Explosion. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to get paid whether your prospect says yes or no to your opportunity.
I've spent the last year and a half learning from the top earners in the industry, and now I'm putting my business plan into action. The question is, how will I do it without being a tech genius or having supermodel good looks? Join me and follow along as I learn, put into action, and share my journey. I am Sarah Peterson, and you're listening to MLM Marketing Explosion.
When I got started out in network marketing, I was told that it was a numbers game. Does this sound familiar to any of you? The product was going to sell itself. So, for example, they told me that if you talk to 10, you're going to get 2 people that sign up. It's because of the law of averages. Once you've done this for a while, you start to know if I talk to 20, I'm going to get 2 people to sign up and 5 customers. Or maybe your law of averages says that you're going to talk to 50 people and get 10 customers and 3 distributors, right? So they're saying that if you do this long enough, it's going to start to figure out a pattern and it's going to be a very predictable pattern. Well, I didn't really want to get told 8 no times, but if it meant that 2 people were going to say yes, then no big deal, right? And when I quickly shot to the top ranks of the company and made history as the fastest person in the history of the world to make the very top rank of a company, those 8 people that had told me no originally, right, out of that 10, were just going to be jumping right in. They weren't going to be able to jump in fast enough, right? So if I went and talked to 10 people and 8 told me no and 2 told me yes, that was totally fine with me, right? How hard could it be? So I made a ginormous list of my friends that lived nearby me, and anybody that I had their number for was fair game, right? Because the longer the list, the better, because, as soon as you run out of names to talk to, you're out of business. So my friend helped me come up with this big long list of names, and she set up my first home presentation with me. Now, my friend was not going to be doing the presentation. She'd actually talked to the vice president of sales in the entire company, and he was going to be coming to my house to do my very first home meeting. Pretty cool launch, right? I mean, this guy knew everything about everything, and so I knew the meeting was going to be a slam dunk, terrific success. Everybody was going to be lining up to sign up for my opportunity, right? When my friends heard what a great business model it is, they were all going to join. And then I went to go make the actual phone calls to invite them. Have you guys seen Despicable Me 2? So in that, Gru is trying to call it Lucy. It's the girl that he likes. And he's terrified to death of calling her, right? She's actually getting ready to move out of the country, and he knows that this is kind of his last chance to get to tell her that he likes her or ask her out or whatever, right? So he goes into his office, and the minions are in the background watching him. But he goes into the office, and he tries to pick up the phone. And as they zoom in on him, he actually is on the phone, and he's doing this pretty stellar job of telling her that she likes him, right? And then he hangs up the phone, and guess what? He hasn't actually called anybody. So then they go through this little series where they're showing him looking at the phone, and the phone looks like it weighs 1,000 pounds. And at one point in time, he's actually underneath the desk staring up at this phone like it's this crocodile or something that's going to eat him, right, or destroy him or ruin him. And he actually jumps up, grabs his blowtorch, and torches the phone. He totally burns up the phone because this fear of the unknown, the fear of what Lucy is going to say, and the fear of what might be rejection is way better than never letting Lucy know that he likes her, right? And that is totally how I felt. I was going on in my head going, hey, this is great. How bad can it be? But when it came to actually calling my friends, all of these doubts started coming up. So I'd come up with all these excuses. Are you following me? So, maybe it's too early in the day. Oh, now we're getting into lunchtime. It's getting too late. Oh, now everybody's picking up their kids from school. Oh my goodness. Now it's nighttime again. Everybody's going to be busy with dinner, and now it's bedtime, right? So I'd come up with all these excuses why I shouldn't be calling them because, truth be told, I was scared to death that they were going to tell me no, right? And what were my friends going to think? I mean, I know that in lots of circles, network marketing is like this 4-letter word, right? It's something that people don't want to do. It's not necessarily popular. It's misunderstood. There's misconceptions about what it is and what it isn't. And I just felt so weird about inviting people over, right? Come on over and see what I'm doing. It just, it screams of network marketing, right? So I actually chickened out. Now, I didn't chicken out into the fact that I canceled everything because I knew this was the only way I'd been taught, right? I was taught that I had to network, right? But I did chicken out in far as just having a meeting. I actually turned it into a barbecue, right? So I called up people and I said, "Hey, I'm having this barbecue. Come on over. No, you don't need to bring anything. Just come ready to eat. Oh, and there's going to be this guy here. I want to show you what I'm doing. It's this big launch, right? Almost like it's a big launch of like a restaurant or store or something, right? Um, but that model's broken. The model right out of the gate is broken. That network marketing, that make a list, call everybody cold call, whatever, it's kind of stuck in the 60s and the 70s. I was told some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. You don't know who's going to like it. So just call everybody. It's purely a numbers game. If you show it to enough people, somebody is going to join. Wrong. Just because I call 1,000 people does not mean that somebody's going to join, especially not if I'm calling people that aren't interested and they're the wrong fit and they're people that are never going to join. I'm just going to get a whole lot of no's. And I'm either going to stick with it until I get the skills and learn how to market, or I'm going to quit, right? There's no guarantee that anybody that you talk to is going to join. People join a network marketing company every single day, but that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to run into that right person, that right fit for your company. Network marketing is meant to appeal to the masses, but when they try to appeal to everybody, it actually doesn't appeal to anybody. When I joined, I knew that everybody needed, this product. Everybody needed this company, right? Maybe you were told that too. Maybe you thought that, right? This was going to be a piece of cake. Whether that's right or whether that's wrong, if you try to market it to everybody, nobody's going to join you. It's too broad. The message is too confusing. So I started calling people. I started having people come. And that got really exhausting really fast. I had a couple of people join, but nobody was quite as dedicated as I was. And of course, when you go to make those phone calls and people either don't show up or you start to get some of that rejection or some of those no's, those people started to fade away, right? They started to quit. So it got to the point that every single month, we were just replacing the people that had dropped out with new people. And, I'll be honest, I had success. In fact, I had one, part of my downline that just went gangbusters with it, but it was still the same thing. As soon as somebody ran out of names, that part of the downline just kind of came to a screeching halt. And and then you have to get into the cold calling. And some people are comfortable with cold calling, some people aren't. I was okay with it. In fact, if you were in line with me at the grocery store, at the mall or something, I was leaving with your number. And I was at a training one time and I heard a guy say, "All right, here's how I did it." He was in vacuum cleaner sales for a while and he said he'd put 10 pebbles in his pocket and he would not come home until he talked to 10 people that day and then he could come home. So I thought, how hard could that be, right? So I'd go on these like hunting expeditions where I'd go to the mall and I'm looking around for who my next, victim's gonna be, or, the gas station. Hey, you need this opportunity, right? And I actually was really, really good at getting people's phone number. I really was, but that kind of led to dead ends. They weren't people who were looking. They weren't people that were going to be the right fit for my company. But I didn't understand that because at that point, I was just looking at it purely from the numbers game. I had to get my product, I had to get my opportunity in front of more people faster. In fact, I went to the mall the other day with my kids and I was just kind of hanging out in the food court as the kids were running around, and they'd call me from time to time, "Mom, you got to go see this thing," right? And so I'd run over there and I'd see it. And I sat there and I thought, this is so relaxing. This is so awesome. When I used to go before, my kids would kind of hide from me because literally I'd be laser focused, talking to people looking for that in so that I could tell them, that they needed to come look at what I was doing, right? They needed their own business, right? It's so much better not to be a hunter. It is so much better when that perfect prospect can find you. And I remember thinking that I just, I knew that there were people out there. I knew that there were people that were going to want network marketing. I knew that there were people that this was going to be an answer to them, just like it was, almost an accidental answer for me. I remember, a couple episodes, I think I told you, a couple episodes ago, I think I told you that when this industry found me, I was struggling, not wanting to get a 9 to 5 job. And this, even though I wasn't actively looking for it, was just the perfect fit for my family and my lifestyle, what I wanted to do, the income that I wanted to make. Well, a lot of people aren't there yet, right? They're not entrepreneurial minded. They're, stuck in that 9 to 5, do work, get paid, do work, get paid. So when you're out cold calling, it gets really frustrating because there's a lot of rejection, right? And I remember thinking, I know that there's people that want this. I wish that, it was almost like that glow stick and that those people were just glowing. Like, I could walk in a football stadium and I'd be able to go, okay, that one's interested, that one's interested, that one's interested, that one's interested, without having to talk to every single person there. I know I heard the analogy that you just want to flip over rocks as fast as you can, like rocks on a beach to see who's going to be interested. Or another analogy I heard was, it's like having a bag of M&Ms and you know that there's going to be blue M&Ms in that bag, and your job is just to take the M&Ms out as fast as you can and find that blue M&M. Well, if all you're finding is the browns, the reds, the oranges, the greens in the beginning, that gets really discouraging and you're not going to stick around to find those blues. I wanted to be able to walk in to that room where I bought the custom, bag of only blue M&Ms, right? And I thought, man, there's got to be a way to do it. How are people doing it? Because this call on my friends and bug on my family members was not working out for me like I wanted to, right? I knew there were people looking. I just didn't know where. I needed a way for them to find me, right? I wanted them to come to me. So, the options, for that are obvious on the outside, right? You wear a big t-shirt, ask me what I'm doing, or, maybe you wear that pin that, blinks and flashes, come see what I'm doing, or, you could twirl a sign on the sidewalk, right? Saying, come talk to me if you want a business opportunity. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really work out, right? That's not the person I wanted to be. And I, was going to all these trainings. I was trying to figure out what that secret sauce was. And when I go to these trainings, they'd say, well, the answer is just to go sign up 5 more people. Well, duh, I know that. I know that's the answer. Just go talk to more people. If you just go talk to more people, it's going to work out for you. Well, that wasn't really working out for me either. And I remember that I don't even remember where I came up with the idea, but I'm sure it was thrown out somewhere. But that social media was such this great idea that I needed to be on social media, right? So I jumped into social media and I started posting like crazy, right? And I got lucky because in the middle, and not in the middle, in the very beginning of this, I happened to come across some mentors as I was adding friends and, growing my friends list. That actually knew what they were doing on social media. So I knew that I wasn't supposed to just post out spammy posts about buy my product. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be saying, come join me, right? And I actually had a lot of success from day one. I know a lot of people complain about the algorithms. I did not have a problem with the algorithms, right? I had people commenting, I had people sharing, I had people liking on my stuff, and I'd listen to these trainings and they'd say, hey, if that's what's happening to you, you are in luck because that's what you want to happen. But I was stuck. I was still just as stuck online as I was offline because I didn't know what to do with this. I knew that I had these people commenting, but I didn't know how to follow up with them. I didn't know how to distinguish if they were a lead or not a lead. It wasn't like they were commenting on my post, oh yeah, I'm in, whatever you're doing, I'm in, right? So I had no idea what to do with it. And now, a side note with that, if you're really good at it, it means you found bait. It means you found what people are looking for. So that's what I'd done, right? I just didn't know what to do with it or how to use it. And one day I'd come home from this training and I was still trying to, put all these pieces into place because I was having success online, but not having success online, if you kind of know what I mean. And as I'm scrolling through Facebook, just kind of relaxing or vegging or whatever I was doing, right? Because really, it was exhausting work. I felt like I was on the internet 24 hours a day. I was kind of zombie mom because I didn't want to miss something, even though I had no idea what I was supposed to do with it when I found it, right? But I'm scrolling through and I see this ad from a top earner in my company. And my jaw kind of hit the floor because it was my understanding we couldn't advertise. So I'm like, what the heck are they doing? And it was this ad that sent you to a webinar. And from this little webinar, you could choose to go to their website, right? And find out more. What? And so that stopped me in my tracks. And I decided that I wanted to find out what these top earners and these top careers were really doing. And so I started paying attention to the ads as they came through my newsfeed. Before that, they'd just been an annoyance. Well, now I'm like, okay, what are these ads saying? What are they doing? What is their whole purpose? And as I started to do that, I realized that they come up with bait that they know people are going to be interested in, right? I knew how to create bait. People were flocking to me. I just didn't know what to do with it. And what they do with that bait is that they create lead gen products. So it's this bait that's going to pull people in, and they're going to be able to sell them products on the front end, and it leads to their opportunity on the back end. Okay, that's a super important concept. So I'm going to repeat it again. They create these lead gen products that pull you in on the front end and introduce you to their network marketing opportunity on the back end. They're getting paid whether you join their opportunity or not. Okay, mind blown. I looked at that and I thought, holy cow, if I'm going to get paid whether you say yes or whether you say no, all of a sudden picking up that phone doesn't matter anymore, right? But take that a step further. I didn't want to pick up the phone anymore. When I can create that lead gen stuff in social media or online or using the internet or YouTube or podcasts to have people find me, they've just self-identified themselves. That's what the gurus are doing. They're getting people to self-identify themselves, kind of like having, that sticker saying, I'm your perfect prospect. And then on the back end, they're able to show them their opportunity. That is super crazy. I mean, super crazy, awesome, right? You know, Marketing attracts, prospecting pushes. So when you're out there trying to prospect, hunt, those people are doing what? They're running from you, right? I used to have this little dog by the name of Butter, and I guess it was Buttercup, but Butter, that's what we called her. But she loved to go outside. I mean, that was her thing. There were nights that she wouldn't come in. She just loved to be outside. And if we left the door open, this little tiny cockapoo, did I already tell you that? Doesn't matter. Anyway, she's this little cockapoo. And if we left the door open at all, like even if we were just coming or going, she would dart out, right? She just loved to be out. So she'd get out in the neighborhood, and I knew that the neighbors were going to be angry. I didn't really want her running around out there because I didn't want her to get run over. We loved this little dog. So, I'd call my kids and I'd say, okay, we got to go get the dog. Butter's out. Let's go get her. So we'd chase around the neighborhood. And of course, whenever we'd get close, she'd run a little bit farther. That was kind of her game, right? She loved the car. So I'd jump in the car and I'd get down. I'd open the door. Come on in, Butter. Let's go. And, she'd get right up there like she was going to jump in, and then she'd dart away. Well, we learned after, a couple times of chase the dog that the more we chased her, the longer it took her for her to come back and the madder we got, right? But we learned that if we just kind of ignored her and came home, she'd run around the neighborhood for a little while, and then she'd sneak in through the side gate, and we'd just see her in the backyard a little bit later, right? So that's what we started to do. And that's exactly what you guys are doing when you're trying to prospect your friends. It's like when we chased my dog. My dog didn't want to be caught. She loved the game. So as we'd chase, she'd run. She wanted nothing to do with us. And that's, like I said, exactly what you're doing when you're trying to call your friends, when you're bugging your family members. Come look this, come buy this, come do that. You're prospecting. If you can sit back and you can put out bait, kind of like that carrot for the rabbit. In fact, unknowingly, I put out a plant in the front yard that I didn't know was going to be a bunny magnet. And my plant is now dead. The bunny rabbits enjoyed it. But when you can put out that magnet that's going to attract the perfect customer or the perfect downline member to your team, they're going to come. They're going to come find you. They're going to self-qualify themselves. I don't do home meetings anymore. I don't call my friends and family anymore. I don't go to the mall and hunt for the perfect prospect. I don't do that anymore. In fact, I don't think a lot of my friends and my family members even know that I'm in this network marketing gig anymore, because I don't talk to them about them. I don't need them to know what I'm doing, because people are finding me. In fact, I actually turned it around, and people actually apply to be in my downline. I don't take everybody. But part of the key to this is that you've got to know who to identify. You've got to know who that perfect prospect is. If you'd like to know more about how to create that perfect bait, if you'd like to know more about how to create that lead gen or that offer to put in the front end so that you can lead people to your network marketing opportunity in the back end, go ahead and go to
www.marketingexplosion.org
and pick up your free copy of the 5-day workshop where I actually lay out for you step by step by step of what you need to get this system into place so that you can stop begging and convincing and pleading your friends to join you, but instead have complete strangers applying to be part of your downline and your team. Thanks for watching today. Are you tired of bugging your family and friends and bumping into the same people all over social media trying to pitch your opportunity? If so, grab your team members and go to www.marketingexplosion.org and pick up your free copy of MLM Momentum. It's going to teach you how to get people coming to you and applying for your opportunity. It's also going to teach you how to get paid for prospecting. See you soon.